was a California thing. And Chris Demm's wife watches Dancing with the Stars. And she has said, yesterday we discussed Reginald VelJohnson. He did a tribute to Bruce Willis on his latest dance. And by the way, made it through the first round, Reginald VelJohnson.
Yeah.
He was in Die Hard and then in Family Matters. I'm a fan. We discussed the rumors about him being at those parties with P. Diddy. The eliminated folks last night was double elimination.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, the two people were eliminated. Anna Delvey, and she was the one that had to dance with an ankle bracelet because she's a convicted felon.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the first episode, and she did not get a big reaction from the studio audience.
What'd you think of her dance?
Not that great.
Okay.
Not that great.
And then the other to be taken out was, and you said, your wife said, and you both thought she had had a lot of work done. Tori Spelling was taken out.
Yeah, her face doesn't look, because when I first saw Tori Spelling, she was on Beverly Hills 90210. She don't look like that anymore.
Right.
So she's had a number of kids, went through a nasty divorce. She's living her best life, but she's had some work done.
Well, they were both eliminated from competition on Dancing with the Stars. And as always, they do the quick exit interview with both of them. What happened? What'd you learn from this show? Tori Spelling said what you would expect.
How incredible was this journey for you?
Unbelievable.
Amazing journey.
Yeah. And I think they were actually rolling the credits when they got to the other one, Anna Delvey.
So Anna Delvey is on there, and they say, what will you take away from this competition?
They called them freak-offs. But
oh, I'm sorry. Wrong person. Excuse me. Here's Anna Delvey.
What are you going to take away from this competition? Nothing.
It's the interview that's breaking apart the internet.
Yeah. What are you going
to take away from this competition? Nothing.
At least she's honest.
She is
Brutally.
honest.
Brutally honest.
I saw a quick interview with Alfonso Rivera.
Yeah.
He's one of the hosts.
Yes.
And he defended her. And he said, well, look, she wasn't liked from the start. No one really wanted her to be there. She wasn't great at dancing. She was only there for a short time. So what is she going to take away? That no one rallied behind her. People didn't want her there.
Right. I'll tell you this. It so threw me back to something that we used to do called Bub Olympics. A competition during the summer at a water park, Wet and Wild. Heavy men competed. And I was always the spokesperson when it was over, when the news would come and interview you. And I don't know why I wasn't ready for this question, but I was asked, what does this do for the community? And that's when I said, it's a great way to spend a weekend day.
I think it's a way just to come out and have a lot of fun and enjoy a weekend day.
That was the question, was what does this do for the community?
I think it's a way just to come out and have a lot of fun and enjoy a weekend day.
All right. When that aired, our boss came to us and said, why did you say such drivel about that? Why did you invent the word weekend day from nowhere? And I said, well, they asked me, what does this event do for the community? What should I have said? And our boss said, nothing.
This is 15 years before Anna Delvey was on Dancing with the Stars.
What are you going to take away from this competition? Nothing.
Maybe she was inspired by you.
Maybe.
That's what I should have said. I should have said nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing that we take nothing away
So
from
I asked my wife, I didn't realize they had done a double elimination.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that Delvey was the first one off. I was a little surprised, I guess, that Spelling was off because, she's kind of a name. And then I thought Reginald VelJohnson and Eric Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother, they can barely dance.
Terrible.
Just physically.
Yeah.
But when I was watching this, I said to my wife, does this make you want to watch the Anna Delvey miniseries? Because there's a series about her on, I think, Netflix, about her when she pretended to be this fake heiress and con people out of money.
That's why she's wearing the ankle bracelet. Yeah.
Well, and it's also like a parole violation, too.
Yeah.
It's some funky thing.
Yes.
But and my wife said no. She has no interest in following in seeing this woman anymore.
Yeah, she's played by the woman who was in the show we loved, Ozark.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Oh, she's great. Yeah, one of those big stars. She really got a lot of accolades for Ozark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but and I think she just overall is not a liked
clearly not
Definitely
person
not.
at all.
No, well, that's what.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody booed her, but
Yeah.
the crowd was just not warm to her.
But I'll say this: she's honest.
What are you going to take away from this competition? Nothing.
There it is. Another note from Hollywood. This is more serious. Jennifer Aniston, her home is the latest to have been swatted by a prankster.
No.
Yes. Do you know what this is? Swatting. You've heard of this, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's when you call anonymously 911 and say there's an emergency or a crime happening at such and such an address.
Correct. A caller called the cops, according to a spokesperson in Hollywood, and said, my friend is not doing well. I need them to be checked on, and gave Jennifer Aniston's address. So several police officers showed up at her home just after midnight. She was asleep. Security was there. She was there. Security was on duty and stopped him at the gate and said, nobody called 911 from this home. But as you can imagine.
Can you do that? Just stop the 911 squad?
Well, she had her own security team, and they did the checking and all that, and said this is a prank. So I guess they traced the call back to somewhere, an IP address or whatever. That
Usually
was
they just bounce it around. You can't trace them.
Maybe they didn't, but they did stop them. And they wanted to attempt to avoid any kind of altercation between Ms. Aniston and the police officers who came in, but they've not figured out who called 911 yet. She's the latest victim. Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Justin Bieber have all been victims of hoax calls, and cops have gone to their homes to try and check on them.
They've even gone so far now to start like a list that they, once you've been swatted or these fake calls, that they know, like, okay, don't just go full force over there.
Yep.
Check it first.
That's what they said in the article, that they're going to call the security team at Aniston's home, or anybody that has security, and they'll be the go-between on that. But now Chris Demm makes a good point there. It's like, well, what if they got past security? And
I mean, but the problem
what
is
if security's in on it? What if they're committing a crime?
Right, yeah.
Problem is it happens so frequently, though, that you're sending a SWAT team out.
Crazy.
And getting it happened to one of these big video game groups. Like they all live in a house in L.A. And they drug them all out, and it was a fake. It was fake swatting, and they were like, "Fine, we'll add you to the list."
And they do it to private citizens. People do it to private citizens just to annoy them.
There should really be a serious consequence for that.
But they can't track these people. Like you said, they can't track them on the internet.
But when they're caught, they're
not.
No one's ever been caught.
I don't think I've ever heard of one person getting.
You can't be caught.
I thought I'd heard, Biggie, that some private citizens trying to just, let's say your ex-wife's new boyfriend. You swat his house a couple of times. Those people, I think, have been caught.
Right.
But the crime is misuse of the 911 system.
I think it should go farther than that. I think it should be like.
It is harassment.
I mean, that is harassment. They're sending to these celebrities' homes. That's just not right. And look, I didn't say anything when it happened to Chris Brown or Nicki Minaj.
Because you're not a fan.
Exactly.
But when it happens to America's sweetheart, Jennifer Aniston, I can't take it anymore.
What would you have given to be part of that SWAT team to break in on her in the middle of the night?
Everything, anything. I would have. To go into
her bedroom,
Jennifer Aniston's bedroom,
in her negligee,
middle of the night, and her coming bleary-eyed to the door. Yes,
come with me, Ms. Aniston.
Yes, yes.
I'll protect you.
Big fan.
Listen, you were my favorite, and I'm so glad you wound up with Ross.
I thought the pivot episode was really okay.
I didn't like the pivot episode.
What is going on here?
I didn't like the. I'm sorry, I didn't like the pivot episode. Fine, I did not like that episode.
She can sit in my squad car, Chief.
One more piece of Hollywood news here, and it's serious. Yesterday we talked about P. Diddy. Everybody's talking about this and all these parties that he gave years ago and what was going on there. They were called freak parties?
Freak-offs.
Freak-offs is what they were called. So he has an attorney, Mark Agnifilo, who sat down with TMZ and did an interview and how he will defend Diddy in court. So the question was asked, talk to us about these freak-offs and what went on there.
They called them freak-offs. But, back when I was a kid in the late 70s, they were called threesomes.
If these are genuinely threesomes, how do you explain 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
I don't know where the number 1,000 came.
The U.S. attorney said it.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for. I mean, he has a big house. He buys in bulk. I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. I mean, have you sat in the parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
That's right.
You have.
I have.
You've been there.
What a great legal strategy. I mean, he shops at Costco.
Look, you don't get to be a billionaire without saving money.
Save some money.
That's some amazing dancing that man did in that.
Listen,
wasn't it?
And I'm a Costco member. If you buy a bottle of baby oil, you have to buy 1,000. I mean, I don't know. He shops in bulk. What am I going to say?
I'm going to tell you, the more of these videos I keep seeing pop up, like how did we miss this with Diddy? His latest one is he's being interviewed in his gym, like a gym that has like a basketball court, and he has beds in there set up. And everybody's like, why didn't we think to ourselves 20 years ago, why's P. Diddy got 2 beds set up in his basketball gym?
That was his lifestyle. I mean, his lifestyle was the allure.
I have to say that lawyer is earning his money, though.
Big
For
time.
sure.
You been to Costco?
The one over there on La Brea?
You know. Diddy's in there all the time. That's your membership. That's Diddy. All right,
Oh, yeah,
come on in.
bit,
Come on in. Baby oil aisle. Back next to the tires.